Toastmaster, my fellow Toastmasters. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you this evening. Last Thursday was a gorgeous day in Chicago. It was 75 degrees, sunny, and I was on my bike. Coincidentally, I was having such a bad headache that I thought I was having a stroke. My brother is an avid cyclist. And he's recently, this summer, got me really into cycling. You see, he owns about 9 different bicycles. And he just moved in with his girlfriend. And she forced him to give away a few of his bicycles in order to make room for her shoes. So I was the lucky recipient of 2 of his bicycles and really taken on cycling. But this headache was weird. And I say weird because I don't get headaches. Well, unless I've had a few too many to drink the night before, then I might have something in the morning. But in general, I don't get headaches. And this headache started the second I hopped on my bike in Wicker Park. By the time I biked down to the lakeshore and started heading south, I actually contemplated pulling out my cell phone, pulling up my Google app, and looking for the closest Walgreens so I could find some ibuprofen. But stupidly, I pushed on and I continued south down the path. By the time I got to around the Grant Park area, my head was really pounding, and I couldn't seem to figure out what is causing this headache. So I asked myself, is this a migraine? But then again, I don't know, because I've never had a migraine before. So I started going through a differential and a checklist of things that could make your head hurt. And the first thing that came to mind was maybe my brain isn't getting enough oxygen. Here I am, I'm pounding away in this cycle, going fast. So maybe I just need to breathe deeper. So I tried that, and it didn't help. So I tried breathing faster. And then I felt like I was hyperventilating, so I had to slow down. Headache was still pounding. So then I thought, maybe I'm dehydrated. So I reached down, I got my water bottle, and as I was cycling along, I was chugging my water, going around people. And 5 minutes later, in addition to my head hurting, my stomach was hurting, because I just slammed an entire liter of water. The headache didn't resolve. Then I thought, maybe it's the bumps. Because every time I hit a bump, I literally felt my brain jostling around inside my head. So for the next few miles, I avoided every little pothole and crack and kind of swerved around them, and then took the smooth path when it was available. Was it the sun? I hadn't been outside and got this kind of sun in a while, so I put my shades on, got down lower on my bike, and then went to the wooded areas where I had them. But nothing seemed to really kill this headache. Finally, I thought, is it positional? Am I too high? Am I too low? Is my neck tight? Basically, I tried every single option and exhausted everything I knew as to what would cause a headache, and I couldn't figure it out. So by this time, it's about 30 minutes later, and I'm down on 71st Street at South Shore Drive. And I told myself, this must be a stroke. I had this constant throbbing pain in my head. So I got off my bike, I sat down on the curb, and decided that I needed to go to a hospital to get evaluated. Now, just knowing by where I was, the nearest hospital was the University of Chicago, and I figured it probably would be best to get a cab to take me there. So, as I was sitting on the curb, with my head pounding, I started trying to flag the occasional cab when it came by, but they wouldn't stop. So now here I was, getting more worried, my head's still pounding, thinking that I might have to literally bike to the ER to get checked out. But I had an idea. I said, you know what, they're just not seeing me, so I need something to catch their attention. So I took off my helmet and waved my helmet at them. it was this moment that I had this epiphany as to what was causing my headache. You see, the second I took off my helmet, I felt this rush of blood and a relief of tension around my head. And much to my stupidity, I realized that the cause of my headache was the fact that my helmet was on way too tight. Thank you.